Well, I've made some significant progress on the Widebody project. I repaired a major front crack in the front lip there. Got the hood modified and filled in with fiberglass. It's looking pretty good. It's looking mostly straight. There's still a couple of areas where I need to get some body filler and just fill it in small cracks and crevices. Spoiler's been fully repaired and now it's actually bolted on to the hatch, loosely anyways. Gotta take it off to get painted separately, but it's on very straight, which I'm really happy about, and everything's just coming along pretty close to being able to drop it off to get painted. So again, the plan is to get it painted white and then get the Bob Sharp number 33 decals and vinyl, all that stuff done by a vinyl wrap shop. So pretty excited here. That cowl is just so mean. I love the way it looks from the front. That's just awesome. Well, what do we have here? My Widebody Z31. All done up. Gotta get those wheels replaced with the real BBSs. But man, this thing's looking sharp. Tail lights look amazing. Got my name on there because it's my car. It's dusty from the dirt road. Graphics, Bob Sharp. Just mean looking. Got the windshield in too. Curing. This is awesome. Okay, just giving a quick update on the exhaust parts. Got the hot side of the turbo inlet welded up from these eBay headers. I don't know if you can see them that well, but flipped them, face them forward, welded on V-bands for the turbo, and then got the charge pipe to the driver's side going underneath the brake master and booster, and it drops down. It is angled to avoid the steering shaft. I'll show that in a minute. Then here's the passenger side. It's just tack welded, but it's essentially the same design. I tried my best to make it equal as possible, just for maybe a flow, or mostly just because it's symmetrical turbo stuff. I want to keep it as cosmetically appealing as possible. And like we said earlier, everything's kind of the same there on both sides. So let me show the underside of it real quick. So like I said earlier, here's the driver's side pipe clearing the steering shaft there. It takes a 90 and then has a 45 there. The 45 is like pretty much the same angle as the pan right there. And then here's the passenger side. Obviously, you know, not as far down, but that's okay. That's pretty easy to get that going. I'm actually waiting on more piping to come, but this one was a lot easier to do since there wasn't much to clear or avoid. But yeah, I mean, it's coming along and it's gonna be sweet when it's all running. All right, finished the radiator plumbing for the piping and whatnot. The outlet from the top of the motor goes there to a universal radiator cap. And then right there, because it's close to a downpipe, I have stainless steel piping going down there. And then it connects to that. And then under there, which is very tight fitment, all tightened. There's the outlet from the radiator. Goes up behind the turbo, again with another stainless steel pipe for heat resistance. And then to the thermostat housing. I need to finish some of the water nipples there. I think they just need to be connected together because I'm not running into the original accessories that was in the front of the motor. With the radiator cap with the outlet there, it's going to go all the way over here to a universal water reservoir. And then back there is the inlet and outlet for the heater core, but because I'm not running a heater core, I'm just going to loop them together. But I'm also going to put a little junction of a temperature sensor there for the coolant gauge. So pretty easy. And then this is where I'm going to have, that's the brake master, obviously, the brake booster. But because it's so small, I need to have a bigger vacuum storage tank. So I'll mount this guy right there for brakes. But otherwise, it's coming together, waiting on some intercooler piping to come in and a couple fittings. But it's getting closer day by day. All right, time to show a video of the fuel cell and all AN line activity that I did today. So I got the fuel cell in there. It's actually bolted up properly. You know, all the studs there are, I think, 10 millimeters in diameter, so that's pretty strong mounts. Got dash 10 lines. Got 90 degree coming out of there. There's my diff cooler pump. And obviously there's the diff. So anyways, the lines exit surrounding the cell and they merge together. But before they do, got a fuel filter there, a fuel filter there. These are 10 micron filters. Then they go into dual Magna Fuel MP 4303 750 pumps, which then they, before they merge into the Y right there, there's a check valve for the secondary pump, and the primary pump will not have a check valve. So like I said, they go into a Y to another 10 micron fuel filter, and then it will go up to this Y that has 2-8s to fuel the fuel rails. So I'll finish that tomorrow. That's where I stopped today. But I also got accomplished today. Finished mocking up the intercoolers for the side mount intercoolers. Got the blow-off valves. These are the 50 millimeter precision blow-off valves. Got my TIG fixed by replacing the hose, and now all of a sudden I can TIG again, so that's good. So yeah, those are, I like the way those look, symmetrical as best as I could. Looks really good. And then for the exits through the fender wall there, got that worked out for the side mounts on both sides. Pretty equal in terms of setup, like so. Then let me show you the top throttle body turbo area. Did a lot of AN fittings today, that's for sure. Okay, that's good. All right, so got all this mocked up, just got to put T-bolt clamps down, and I need to weld the bung for the intake air temperature sensor. But as you can see, the turbos have the side exits pretty much equal on both sides, and they, the charges merge together in that Y, and then go to the 3 to 4 inch throttle body there. So it's coming together. Obviously there's a few things to button up a little bit more with the intercoolers, but it's basically all there, and it's coming together. I like how much room is in the front. I'm thinking about getting a plate or a bar or something to bring across, just to reinforce the idea of some structural integrity in the front. But we're getting there slowly but surely. Waiting on some more AN fittings for the turbo feed. I just need some dash 4 fittings coming in, and at that point I'll be able to crank the motor and get some logs collected in terms of the location between the crank signal and the cam signal relations. But very making a lot of progress here. So that's it for now. All right, about to crank it for the first time. Honestly, I have no idea what to expect. But again, it's just cranking, not starting. Here we go. There it is.
There it is.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna start up again. I've had it started a few times now, but I got it to idle by itself with no tuning. Turn the key on, push button start. Hey guys, I figured it's time for a video. A lot of you guys saw the pictures on Facebook when I did that massive dump of all those 400 pictures. And first off, I apologize. It's kind of windy outside today. It's Colorado. It's windy almost every day. But yeah, here's the car in all its glory. I'm not going to post or pop the hood right now because it's kind of difficult to do one-handedly with the 4 hood pins and get the hood prop out. It's all the pictures. I'll make another video if you guys want to see me do a walk around and explain the engine bay a little bit more. But here's the car. BBS wheels, 17 by 10 in the front, 17 by 12s in the rear. Here's the rear of the car. Genuine stuff. I even got my license plate on there. IMSA Z31. It's street legal. Has working turn signals, headlights, and even has a horn. Let's check out the horn. Beep. Air horn, tiny little air horn, why not? So you guys wanted to see the video of the car starting up and how it sounds and get a little cruise videos on it. Mind you, that's kind of difficult to do that with this car, but I will try my best. So gotta crawl into the car, excuse my hands. All right, okay, so I gotta put my seatbelts on, 5-point harness thing. Safety first, as they always say. Corny. And again, sorry for fumbling the camera. Actually, let me put the phone down for a second, get my seatbelts on. Give me 1 second. Okay, yeah, 5-point harness. Lovely. All right, so these are all Marshall gauges. They actually get really good reviews. I took some Nissan decals and covered them just to make it look, just Nissan-ish. So, Tremec 6-speed manual transmission. Some of you might ask, why not the 350Z CD009? Quite frankly, guys, CD009 is not a strong transmission. It's great for NA stuff, drifting, whatever, but it's not great for high boost stuff. You're gonna just shred through those bearings and the synchros. So it's not a transmission of choice. This is the Tremec Magnum F with the 2.66 first gear ratio. Very desirable in the V8 world. Corvettes, Camaros. A lot of guys go to them. Even the Mustang guys go to them. Like I said, it's a 6-speed with a double overdrive. That means the 5th and 6th gears are smaller than that 1.0 to, the ratio as 4th gear is 1.0. The 350Z CD009 is a single overdrive, which means that the 5th gear is, no, I'm sorry, the 4th gear is still a 1.0, and the 5th gear, no, I'm sorry, I had that backwards. The 5th gear is a 1.0, and the 6th gear is your overdrive. It just means you're rowing an extra gear to accomplish the same thing, right? So, yeah, it's just more work, right? So this is the correct transmission for building power on a VA application with high boost. So the dyno, like I said on the video, or I'm sorry, the post was 983 to the wheels and 974 foot-pounds of torque. So let's go get this thing turned on. One thing you'll hear is the fuel pump making some noise. It's a very loud fuel pump. It's the MagnaFlow MP4303, the 750. It moves a lot of volume of fluid. So you can hear that. You won't be able to hear me much. It's really loud in the car, but I turn the diff cooler pump on. It actually turns on at a certain temperature. And then the meth, I'm on gas right now, 90, 85. I do have flex fuel, so I do have the ability to run meth, but because I'm on pump gas right now, I have my meth controller right there. And then the trans pump must be on while driving. The return hose of the cooler setup shoots oil onto the first gear in front of the bearing on the pilot. I'm sorry, the input shaft. So it's important to keep that bearing lubricated and cooled. So it's actually highly recommended by Tremec to put a cooler and have that be pointed at the input shaft bearing. And then the fans, I'm still trying to get things situated. The cooling, it cools great. I just don't have a trust with the car yet in terms of cooling, so I always have the fans on. But so what I'll do is after it runs, you'll see me flip those switches. So let's go ahead and do the push button start. I'm not even going to push the gas to help it start. I'm just going to do it. So let me prime the pump one more time. Here we go. All right. Here we go. Not an easy car to drive. It's a 3-disc ceramic clutch kit. Kind of an on-off switch, so it's not necessarily a comfortable clutch setup. Unsprung hub, very touchy. I'm still trying to dial in the brakes. I got to play with the rod from the brake pedal adjustment to the booster. Earlier today, I actually spent some time in calibrating this speedometer, so I think it's within 1% of accuracy, which is good enough to me. So and again, I'm sorry for the bad camera handling. It's really hard to manage that while in the car. That car in front of me has a student driver sticker. Miles an hour and at 55. Kind of ridiculous. We'll pass them here right now. my view at all, really. So I'm pretty good to see everything. 25 miles an hour, and we're not even in 6-speed yet. Take this next turn here. I'll do a couple pulls, but I don't want to do things stupid to get me pulled over or to you know, damage anything. I'm still trying to learn this car. I've only driven it a couple times. Fire station. You don't want to speed past the fire station. Sometimes there's cops on these turnoffs near these trees, so kind of have to put things in check. So in case you're wondering about the rearview mirror, you can see not much visibility with that spoiler, but the side mirrors are good. I can see a lot. Yesterday evening I fired it up and kind of drove around a little bit. Got kind of warm, but let's see if it does better today. So what I'm going to do is just cruise past. There's a nice straight area, but sometimes there's cops. So I'm just going to cruise at first, turn around and do a couple pulls on the way back. A clean driving record, no tickets, nothing on there. I'd hate for this car to change that, so that's why I'm kind of playing it safe right now. All right, sometimes there's a cop right up here. No cop. Alright. I'll do a tiny little boost pull right here. Holy shit. That was intense. Turn around and do another one. And again, I apologize for any bad camera work. It's really hard to do this. I'll make a U after that hill. Driving what I'm doing right now is kind of first time for me. I haven't really driven this car at all, so I'm having to keep an eye on temperature. Like it went up a little bit. Nothing out of concern yet. have to keep an eye on everything because I haven't really learned this car yet. Alright, here we go. Just want to make sure those two cars coming up are not police cars. Nuts. Talk about insta boost. It just pulled. I actually moved my head back. Alright, I'm gonna kill the video so I can get back on the main road. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll post some more videos, maybe a walk around of detailed explanation of the build. But dude, this car is intense. Talk to you guys later. I didn't track it. No? No, my steering's kind of messed up. Aww. All right, just got the fuel cell back in. This installed 3 Walbro 525 Hellcat pumps to replace the 2 MagnaFuel MP4303 pumps that were giving me problems, boiling it down to probably vapor lock or cavitation or something. I was chasing my tail around this. I just gave up. The car would just intermittently run and not run, not run, and so I just got tired of it. So I installed 3 Walbro pumps. 2 will be primary. They're installed on the same circuit, feeding the 2 lines going into 1-10 line that feeds the fuel rails. And then there's a third pump, which is considered the secondary pump, which comes on at a certain PSI of fuel pressure. So at high RPM, high boost, once fuel pressure starts dropping, Megasquirt will kick in the third pump, which is the secondary circuit there, and it'll supply the needed fuel in case I need it. Will I ever probably get to that point with this car? Probably not, but it's just peace of mind knowing that I can do it in case I ever do want to have fun with the car. So I got the camera right there. I wanted to show something here in a second, but you can see right there, if you can, there's 3 electrical bulkheads there feeding those Marlboro pumps. But I want to show inside, or from the outside actually, I have a dash 10 fitting that's welded through. Inside I have a 2 primary wall bros, or dash 6. There's an adapter you can get for the top of the wall bros that go into inside here a Y fitting that goes to a dash 10, and it goes up from there. And it's the exact opposite on the other side with a another dash 10. So the wall bro is a dash 6 on top, and I have a reducer that actually goes from dash 6 to dash 10. Call that a upgrade, I guess, or whatever. And then there's a check valve there just to help prevent backflow. And then from there it goes into a Y up to the fuel rails. No leaks. I just fired it up. Very happy with that. And you can tell right there that my traditional fuel cell is now capped off there for the external fuel pumps. So let's fire this up real quick, show you some cool stuff. All right, turn the key on. So first thing is very quiet fuel pump. It's starting to rain outside, so you can hear some rainfall. But very quiet fuel pump compared to the MP4303s, which were loud. I didn't care that they're loud, it didn't really bother me, but now that it's quieter, I can appreciate that. So let me fire up the car. Hopefully I don't need to simulate my foot pedal down there, but. All right, cool, fired right up. So check this out. Well, first I guess let me show you the fuel pressure. Pretty good, right where I want it to be. Fuel level, half a tank. All right, so check this out. Turn this on. So you see that spray there? That spray is actually the return line from the fuel pressure regulator. Look at that volume and that pressure coming out. That's fantastic. But as you can see, I have some dash 6 lines there, and those are the fittings. It's kind of a blurry picture at this point, but all the pumps have those green adapters which go from those plastic barb fittings to a dash 6. So as you can also maybe possibly see, the camera's kind of wet, I got some baffle plates in there with some slosh holes to allow fuel to move around, but baffle plates to help to keep the fuel centralized there. But it's working great so far. Hopefully I don't have any problems as much as I did with the MP4303. So at this point, I hope the fuel system has been resolved. I'll go ahead and turn it off. The car's pretty loud. And that's that. So hopefully it fixed the problem. I'm just stoked that, I actually centered the fuel cap. Wow, that looks off-centered, which unfortunately it is. The fuel hanger plate is actually centered now, which makes everything a little more accessible for troubleshooting wiring or visual inspections. But now I can get to the gas lid actually easier now versus struggling, as the fuel lid was like half under this side, but now we're good. So anyhow, should be good now.